Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Paul again, and today we're going to be taking a little look at OnAir, the OnAir company, or OnAir Airline Manager. The program's called. This is something which I've been using for quite a while now. Sort of similar to NeoFly, it gives you the sort of options to create an airline career, shall we say? Various different jobs that you can look to do. But the one thing I love about this, what they've updated over the last couple of months, is the industries. Sort of, I don't know what to call it, like just sort of a new sort of segment. But I've been playing this exclusively in the Thunderworld. Just to give you a bit more context on what I mean by the Thunderworld, you'll just see on the screen now. There's actually 3 different worlds that you can be a part of. Cumulus is sort of like the entry level one. You can configure it how you like. If you want to have certain sort of perks or aids, if you don't want anything sort of holding you back, that's just a nice easy world just to jump straight into and not have sort of any real constraints on what you can or can't do. Stratus is probably say it's sort of on par with Thunder, so you can't disable or enable any of the sort of settings or perks that you can do in Cumulus, but as well as having the sort of same rule set as Thunder, you are still allowed to have AI pilot. So that's something that I'm interested in. I sort of haven't really, but sort of dipping my toes in the whole industries sort of area in the Thunder world. I've come to the conclusion that I don't think it's a viable option for me to continue trying to build or like my factory setups and supplying them in industries unless I'm always 100% focused on just doing that, which is not what ultimately I want to do. So I was thinking to use maybe AI pilots and sort of have that experience as well of where if I'm not able to do a flight one evening, at least I can maybe use an AI pilot or two to sort of manage and still be doing flights for me. But of course we're not at that stage yet anyway in terms of hiring any AI pilots. We're going to be starting off completely fresh. So there's a completely fresh look at it. And you'll see also under Stratus, there's 2 options that we've got. Similarly as well with Cumulus, you can either start as a small company, so literally hardly any money in the bank, no reputation, and sort of limited in sort of how you can go about your business from the get-go. If you do want a bit of a cash injection, a bit more reputation, so you can start off with like the much larger aircraft. Both worlds do give you the option to start under the airline choice, but for me, I haven't got to that stage even in Thunder. I couldn't tell you how many hours I've got in it, but I've certainly not got a lot of money because it's quite challenging to actually, I find, make large sums. So yeah, so I'm going to go with Stratus as the video title would suggest, and we're also going to be starting off just as a tiny company. So we're going to be in the general aviation aircraft to start off with anyway. I'm sort of hoping as well, I'm going to risk it because I know A2A are working on releasing an update which allows the aircraft engine state to communicate with the sim properly. It's just with them using their own sort of engine in the background. There's been issues with career mods, and ultimately people haven't been able to end the flights when it requests that the aircraft engines need to be shut down. So on it, I've got a little trigger that they've put in, and we won't even need that once A2A release the update. So fingers crossed. Anyway, I'd say I'm taking a risk. I'm sort of jumping into the fire here, and hoping that this will work for me. So we'll start off there anyway. We'll do the new company, start company on that. And this will bring up, and it's the same in any world, it'll bring up asking you for your company name. So I'm just going to sort of name this one similarly just after my Discord. So we'll just call it the hub. You've got to select a airline code for 4 letters. I'm just going to do HUBB. And then your pilot name. We'll call him Paul. Birthday. I won't put my real birthday on this one, but I'll tell you what, because I am getting on a bit now. So we'll do 84 April, and we'll do the first. We'll do April Fool's Day. Flight experience, you don't have to put this in, but recently I got my Wing Commander achievement on flight sim for 1,000 hours in the air, which is incredible considering I think I've spent about 3,000 or 3,500 hours on the sim. So it just sort of shows you how long you're either sat in the menus or sitting on the ground for. And we're going to start off in my local. There we go. We'll go to Liverpool. We'll also pick someone who looks like they know what they're doing. I'll tell you what, I love his sweater. Yeah, there we go. We'll go with that guy. Looks nothing like me, but we'll go for him anyway. So we'll create that. And this is all online as well. It's a persistent world. So people who have like FBOs set up at airports, you can buy fuel off people, not just off the system, so to speak. So we're starting off with 10,000, well, 10,000 in cash. 1 employee, which is always yourself. And all we need to do now is get an aircraft. So let's have a little look now. So we're going to go to World Aircraft Market, and I'm not loaded in the sim at the moment. So I've got the sim running, but I'm not actually in an aircraft. But if you are sitting in the aircraft that you want to look for, you can click that big green box that says search for the aircraft I've got loaded into my simulator. But for now, we're going to manually browse the aircraft market. And I'm looking for the Comanche. So PA24 Comanche, that will be that one. Okay, £1,300 max payload, range 1,200 miles, 161 knot speed. Cool. And then we'll display all the rent and sell offers. And I'm hoping there's one not too far away from here. So what I tend to do is sort of bring the ones that are closest to me. Now I'm not able to buy, so I need to find one that's rent. I've got this one which is 50 miles away, but I don't really want to get that one because the airframe condition doesn't look too good. So I'm thinking this one here, rent price is 620. And if we have a look over here, we've got to pay a renting bond, which is 10 times the amount, which you get your bonds back anyway, as long as the aircraft goes back and it's not completely done in. So we'll click rent on that. You can lease, but if you commit to a lease and then you want to end the lease, you have to pay what's outstanding on the lease term. So something really good for long term. But knowing me, I'll probably get bored, or another aircraft will come out and I want to fly that. So renting's not too bad as well. I don't find it's too much of an issue. I don't know whether this is going to reflect because I've been playing in Thunder, but I've always seemed to have done better with renting than what I have with leasing because of the damage costs and stuff. So we'll rent that. We're going to go full first class. It's going to reduce our number of seats, but what it is going to do as well, it's going to give us an extra cargo capacity of £126. So I'm happy with that. Plus as well, when we do look to take passengers, we will be able to take the passengers who are wanting to travel in a higher class or luxury. Right, so there we go. So Piper PA24 Comanche is currently sitting at Echo Golf November Sierra, which is Isle of Man. So lovely. We're going to be starting off in the Isle of Man. And this is why I'm literally sat on the main menu of Flight Sim, because I didn't know where it was I was going to be going. So we'll go over to EGNS. It should be on the Isle of Man here. There it is. We'll have a little look where we can go. We've got ramp 21 there, but we're not going to go there. We'll go here. Right, we'll get flight sim loaded up. And I'll bring up OnAir again. So I just want to check, do I need to do a check ride on this? I think I do. Yep, so there we go. So I'm not actually qualified to fly this yet. So even though I've bought it, you have to do a check ride. Similar to what I was saying with NeoFly, where you've got to do the various classifications of aircraft. You have to do that also in this. The one thing I do love
You
as
need
well.
to set parking brakes to request ground services.
I'll wait for GSX to finish its thing. Yeah, one thing I do love about OnAir as well is if you do want to have a sort of multiplayer aspect, it does give you the ability to either create a virtual airline or join a virtual airline, and you can do that with other players. You know, it's just as the name suggests, joining a virtual airline. It'll be made up of, you know, however many members that the airline's got. Now, I will say that if you are in the Thunder world, and this is the good thing with Thunder, the member count is unlimited. However, in Stratus, it's limited to 10 pilots in a VA. So this is picking up too much fuel at the moment. So what we need to do is just tell it I've not actually got that much fuel. So 43, 35. Tell you what, we'll empty the tip tanks. Okay, that should be enough. Right, so what we're looking for is to have all greens just in this little box here, tracking conditions. So the date as well will always go off the real time as well, unless you set it differently in the options. So you need to be very careful when you load this up, because if you take a job, and you're flying in the middle of the, well, it's nighttime where you are, but then you load into the sim and you're expecting to be able to change the time to be a little bit later. Yeah, you'll have to cancel the job, change your time settings in the system, and then load it back in. But it's not too bad when you're in summer like it is now, because we get a little bit more daylight flying in the evening. So yeah, everything's right. Date matches, fuel matches, total payload in the so as long as you show more, because you can see it's showing that we should only be due £64, but the sim's picking us up as having 208. So as long as it's more, it's happy. We've got the correct model, sim settings, no slew, no unlimited fuel, crash detection active, and we're at the correct location. So as long as they're all good, we can click on start check ride.
Taxi to the runway and take off.
Okay, so I'm going to just remove OnAir from the screen, so you should be able to just see the simulator now. It wants us to taxi and take off. Right, so fingers crossed we don't have any issues with the aircraft. Right, I'm just going to do this quickly anyway. So tie downs and shocks are off, pitot cover is off. The aircraft as well, we have got it in a bit of a dodgy, actually, you know what, we'll fix the brake, but we'll leave the battery and the engine as well. We have got a little bit of damage to that. I'm just wondering whether or not should I sort that one out? I think we will replace that one. There we go. Magnetos will leave, yeah, until some of them are reds. We'll leave that exactly how it is for now. Okay, we'll get shut of that. Oops. Yeah, I was just wondering why my fuel pressure wasn't going up then, but there we go. That's why. Didn't have the tanks open.
Taxi to the runway and take off.
Now, I did used to have a little menu bar for this. Let me just see if I can pull it up. There was one for OnAir that you could get. Community widgets. Don't want community widgets. We want... Which one was it? Core widgets. Nope, wasn't core widgets neither, was it? Ah, panels, there we go. See if we've still got it. If we've got it, that'd be great. Yeah, there we go. So what this will allow us to do anyway, it'll tell us exactly what we need to do. And also, if we want to bring up the map, it'll show us there. And it tells us taxi and taxi and take off to the runway, take off. That's a little bit of broken English, no wonder I'm getting confused with that. Fuel on board, session duration. So we can leave that on. And we'll get diddling.
Taxi to the runway and take off.
Yeah, I heard ya. What's happening, big boy? Shoes. Struggled horse. Okay, we're not going to do a full runway takeoff. Try it from here. I don't know if this is a good idea. Oh no. We're going for it. Bloody hell, is that what you are?
Continue to climb.
14. Bloody hell, mate. Some big feet them, aren't they?
Turn left, heading 120, climb to 2,000 feet.
Right, left to 120. We're going to 2,000 feet. That's a good one, yeah. Asking for 2 boxes, mate.
Now, maintain 2,000 feet and heading 120 for a couple of minutes. Please, return to a level flight at 2,000 feet. Keep
Yeah.
heading 120.
That's my
Now,
fault.
Maintain 2,000 feet and heading 120 for a couple of minutes.
There we go. Gone from getting a bike to new headphones. Speaking of headphones,
We will now start a slow turn exercise. Reduce your speed to 90 knots or less and maintain your altitude. Use your flaps if necessary. Please maintain 90 knots or less.
okay, 90 knots or less.
Please maintain 90 knots or less. Now, make a 360 standard turn to the left, maintain 2,000 feet and 90 knots or less. Continue the left turn until heading 120.
Okay.
Go to heading 120, maintain 90 knots or less. Go to heading 120, maintain 90 knots or less.
See the difference that wind has just made to me speed as well.
Go to heading 120, maintain 90 knots or less.
We're turning, don't worry.
Go to heading 120, maintain 90 knots or less.
I mean, she said it was a slow turn. I don't know what she's getting her knickers in a Swiss
Normal
for.
speed. Turn right, heading 130, climb to 3,000 feet. Now, maintain 3,000 feet and heading 130 for a couple of minutes. Now, return and land at your departure airport with an appropriate IFR or VFR approach.
I'm sure they'll come in handy one day, mate. I don't know when, but... Well, it's one of them, isn't it? You shouldn't have got them then. or you shouldn't be looking at getting them. I should look at the other things first. A little quieter out here, isn't it? Just trying to think if I've got my sim turned all the way up. I have, yeah. Oh, wait there. No, I haven't. There we go. Oh, nice. I love that it's got us over at the Isle of Man. Probably should have made this my base, shouldn't I? But we'd be doing quite a bit of tracking back and forth over the Irish Sea. Okay, so we're a few miles out anyway. Think about 7 or 8. There's the runway.
It's the right airport.
Okay, well that's a relief. I've just realised as well, we're coming on quite a bit too high here, so pull back on the throttle, drop the nose. And just for fun, we've picked the exceptionally short runway for this one. Right, here's where we find out if the little go-around sort of works. I don't mean forming a go-around with the aircraft, but just the one I was telling you about with the engine cut off, not being synced to the sim. A bit floaty there.
Taxi to your parking and shut down the engine.
Right, so taxi, shut down engine. Right, I think we can turn that off. Yeah, not far off the centre line there, but definitely landed a lot longer. I was just getting a little bit of a possibly a little bit of ground effect. It was just floating. And one of the things I was sort of briefly talking about at the start of the video was the sort of like all the difficulty settings and the perks. So if you need to go and, you know, say you look at the aircraft market and you find another aircraft that you want to go and purchase or you want to go and rent, you've got to go in, like, you've got to get there. You can bring the aircraft to you, or you can travel without having to actually fly yourself, but it is literally a case of, you know, if somewhere would take you an hour to get to or 2 hours to in real life, that's how long you have to wait. So there's no like quick traveling and nothing. Right, we'll get the brakes on. Right, I'm not going to shut the engine down here myself because I think last time I'd done this, it didn't actually track and log the flight properly. I'll turn the landing lights off anyway, or the taxi lights. and we'll get OnAir open because what we need to do is pause the tracking. So oh no, now see what I mean? See the way it's done this, like start check ride now.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Might be doing this again.
You need to set parking brakes to request ground services.
Right, so why did that not track? So this is what I was saying about the Comanche. It does not communicate with the sim in terms of its engines, whether they're running or not. So we might just have to go and do that little bit again, but it's all good. It's all good. So if I click on start check ride. Yeah, okay. Let's give it another go. This is why I sort of had a couple of reservations about using the Comanche on the stream this evening. Oh. Just slow that down there, don't I? The thing I'm getting frustrated with though is it's saying that I've done all the check ride exercises. I've taxied and took off. I've done the initial climb, followed heading and altitude, I click on pause tracking. We'll give it another go in the air, but I'm just curious as to why it's saying that the check ride exercises have all been ticked off. And it says return to airport, but that's it. And the only option it's given me, other than the pause the tracking, which I've just tried, is abort the flight. Oh, something's not right with the aircraft. Got the car beat on. There we go.
Airborne time logged.
Yes, he's not giving me any instructions now. I just want to point out as well, this has got nothing to do with OnAir, by the way. This is just the issues with the Comanche. Thought a little workaround would have been okay. This is, as I say, I just said that a couple of minutes ago, but I was a little bit apprehensive of actually using this on the stream. I was actually going to start off in one of the pipe, like a Piper Arrow. The Just Flight one. Okay, we're just going to go in for a quick landing. And we'll try and land a little long here.
Landing time logged. Engine off time logged. The flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
Bit of a nasty one, that, but okay. Right, so it's actually logged that check ride flight, even though I'm not finished. Maybe I was meant to hit that force engine on thing before it took off. Maybe that's why, because that's the only thing I've just done on that one. Just going to pull up in any old spot. Turn the strobe lights off now, did they? Right, avionics off. It's also detected the parking brake then as well. Right, let's have a little look at OnAir. See what the score is with this. So, company, my employees. So if we go to our name, manage, and there we go. Single engine piston land. We've got that. Okay. Dashboard. Now, it should give us a job automatically. So first job, you got one pending job. So it does give you an option to say, look at charter jobs. So we could actually get a job from here. And there'll be a couple of choices. When it connects, that is. But that one that says dependent job, it's like a leveling up job. And you're given them every, where's that saying I am now? So if I go to my preset for the Piper, so it knows that I'm in the Isle of Man, and then if I query the logistics center, it'll bring up jobs based on any of the sort of filters that you've selected. Taking a little longer than usual. There we go. So there's a couple of jobs there, for instance. But with Liverpool being my base, so if I just pop back to my dashboard, you'll see that we've got one pending job. And again, this is a leveling up job. So as you level up your rank, you will earn skill points, which allow you to unlock perks as you progress. Yeah, we've got a nice little one here to take us back to home. So what we'll do is, I'll actually say, do you know what? Yeah, we'll have that one. So we'll say, yeah, absolutely. Give me that. Distance is 77 miles. If we come onto this screen, this is where we select our load, saying that we're taking it. You can also adjust how much fuel you want in the aircraft. So I'll put a little bit more in. I mean, it tells us that the range, actually, you know what, the range is more than sufficient. And I know that we've got plenty of fuel services at Liverpool, so it's not like I have to worry about getting away from Liverpool. Validate fuel and payload. Yeah, do you know what, I'm happy with that. What are we actually taking as well? Cargo. And we've got 2 passengers. Okay. So validate fuel and payload. So it's going to take just under half a minute. Okay, now that's done. So destination's in, we've got an alternate. If we click the Fly Now button, it'll bring up the tracking page for us to initiate. And this is what I was saying about if you want to offset the time. So it doesn't matter what weather you've got on the sim. And I'll give you an example. I'm just going to change the weather time so it's dark. So say if it was the opposite, say it was you'd set it the daytime in the sim, but in the real world, it was dark. What it would do is, if you didn't change the UTC offset, it would configure that with the real world. So just the example I'm giving you now is it's actually broad daylight outside. It's just coming up, well, just gone 7 p.m. There's still a couple of hours left of sunlight. So if I was to click Fly Now, and then I just need to sort my payload out in the aircraft, and then when it starts tracking, you'll see that change. So payloads, we're going to add 2 passengers. Total payload 548, due 806, so we still need a bit more of that. Fuel is absolutely fine. I'll stick one more in there. Baggage, what am I on now? I'll tell you what, we'll take him out. We're on 590s. Oh, there we go. That's actually fine. We've got a green light in on it. So what I will do now is click start tracking, and just see the way it's done that automatically. It's changed it back to daylight, so it's just matching your correct real world time. Then I might click on use this button if the engine on status is not detected properly by OnAir for your add-on.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
So we'll do that just in case. Not liking something there, is it? There we go. Just give it a little bit more throttle and we're good. Right, avionics master. Do you know what? We'll just do a direct 2 actually. No, we won't. Okay. Sorry about that. I was outside the sim when I clicked the shortcut key. Right, we'll depart off this runway. Wind will be in our favour here as well.
Airborne time logged. Didn't even stick my strobe on. Big boy's back. Yeah, I managed to get it to track it anyway. Took off again, landed again. And then I went, yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. I'll say it'll be Sam once A2A Sim release an update for the command sheet. I mean, technically there's nothing wrong with it. It's just they're connecting it up, they're connecting the external program up to like some sort of like Sim Connect module, I believe. I mean, don't quote me on that. I'm using a little bit of lingo I've learned. I mean, the aircraft is flawless. It's just, yeah, the way it's been programmed with their own, it's the AccuSim software, because it uses that to run all like the flight model for the aircraft and all the systems. When using career add-ons, if they need to be able to detect whether or not the engine's running or not, they're not able to in this build. But with the new build that's coming out, that'll be possible. But I just really wanted to start my career off in the Comanche. Could have waited, I could have put the stream back, but patience is a virtue, I think that's a saying, isn't it? And I don't have a lot of that. Used to, not anymore. Right, we'll we'll level off for 4,000. I don't normally call people by the C words, but Woody, I'm fine. You CUN ... How you doing, mate? Alright, I just need to put the trim down. Yeah, I know why he's calling me a big boy. I'll let Woody explain. Oh no, it's perfectly fine, mate. It's perfectly safe for stream. He's referring to the bandage I've got on my wrist. See, there we go. I can't even do it. Oh, come on, you don't know who Keith Lemon is? Lee Francis. Oh, wow. Okay. Because, you know, Scanias piss all over Volvos, mate. You know that. Big boy's like, remember, I'm still a fetus. Yeah, in comparison, mate, yeah. There you go, mate. Do you know what? I think it's on me me torpedo. The skin, one of the skins I made. I actually put that you know, it's like that lad with the cap on, and he's, you know, normally pissing on something. I actually stuck that on my torpedo where he's actually pissing on Volvo. Had to. How's everyone today? You all good? There, she's going to sleep. Don't know why she's got all the gear on though. Oh, the armies, look, they're at 4,000 feet. Come on, that was a good one, that. Right, let's just bring on say it again. Let's just bring OnAir up. So this is currently tracking our flight. We've done a little bit of a zigzag there because I'm just checking out just how good the aircraft is at capturing the GPS. And as you can see, not very good. I think I'm best just flying it out manually or flying it onto a heading before I engage that, because it gets onto the flight path eventually. But that's like where it's just overshot it a couple of times. So we're taking the aircraft home, taking it to our home base, of course, Liverpool John Lennon. And then once we're there, we'll collect our money for this flight. And we should have a skill point to apply. Woody, we're just going to John Lennon, mate. Liverpool John Lennon. So, as the video title and thumbnail suggests, I've started a brand new playthrough with OnAir. So, starting from the bottom of the barrel, mate. But with an aircraft as good as this, can we call it that? Bottom of the barrel? Nah. Juan. That's the Juan. What's that, big boy? You've got no idea what is going on. Sorry, I'll stop. Right, just a little over 50 miles to go, so about 1/3 of the way there. Do you know what? It's weird. I'm so used to going across the Irish Sea in a 737 to Ireland and back. I am going to try and do a pilot's life flight as well, probably at some point over the weekend. I'm not going to promise it, but I also need to get back onto a little bit of Neofly as well, because I have promised another stream on that one, which I absolutely love, by the way. It's just I want to fly the Comanche at the moment, and I don't think you can fly that in Neofly for the reason mentioned earlier, with the whole engine being detected. Oh, I'm just having a little look at that chunk of taking out my wrist. Do you know what? It doesn't actually look too bad now. When it was when I had my little accident yesterday, it looked absolutely terrible. Starting to see some of the oil rigs coming into view now. This is part of the Aerosoft offshore pack. I think what we'll have a little look at as well, we'll just see how good or bad the aircraft is doing. Which one is it? Is it number 4? Oh yeah, so number 4 is absolutely fine, isn't it? I'll tell you what, because I need to get my head around this. So which one is the worst cylinder? Number 1 is the worst. Okay.
Right, down to the last 33 miles. We shall have a little look at the meter for Liverpool. Wind is going in from 270, so that'll be bang on at a runway 27 arrival. So we're going to be flying past the airport and landing to the west. Okay, so we're just flying towards the Wirral Peninsula. You got the River Mersey just on the left hand side. Start seeing the Liverpool skyline as well come into view. I think we're just going over the wind farm as well. Yep, there they are.
Okay, we'll just start descending as well. We'll get to about 2,500 feet. I'm just giving myself a little mental note of, oh, going down far too steep there. So yeah, as I say, about 2,500 feet. We'll drop to that. Let's see where I live from here. Okay, and then we'll re-engage the altitude capture. 2,500. Nearly there, Woody. Nearly there, mate. I remember that film as well. Who was in that? I remember there being a film. I can't remember if it was like Ice Cube or someone like that was in it. Right, so just across the river there's the city centre. Just on the waterfront. There's the cathedral. We've got the two footy stadiums, Liverpool, Everton. There's the docks. And just this area here is where I live. Right, so comfortably holding 2,500 feet. I'm just going to come off nav anyway. Just set me heading bug. We're going to take a sort of heading towards the, I think towards the Runcorn Bridge. So I'll change that to heading. I think I'll go another 10 degrees to the right. Okay, that one's a little bit of down trim. And now the airport is just along the bank of the Mersey. Okay, and you should see the airport just here. There's a runway, but we're not coming in on runway 09, we're coming in runway 27, so we're going to be coming in from this way. So we'll just follow the Mersey, we'll follow it round, do the down leg on this side, and then we'll do our turn, and then on to final. Okay, I'll start our left turn. And then we should be sort of running parallel the airfield, so sorry, the airport. If anyone else is wondering if you have got, or if you do frequent Liverpool quite often, you'll notice that the Mersey as well, in the sim by default, it's just water, but we always get a lot of low tides, which reveals all these little like sandbanks. This is a mod you can get off flightsim.to. Much more accurate to what it's like. Particularly as well when you're crossing one of the Runcorn bridges, whether it's the old one or the gateway, you'll always see all these massive sandbanks. So really, really good mods. Makes it feel a lot more immersive. So we're going to fly out towards the gateway bridge. So we're sort of like running parallel to that, and then we'll start our turn. Okay, the AP is off. Just going to leave some pressure off the stick. There's our runway. I just flip and hope this registers the flight. Again, not that it's a fault of A2A or OnAir, but it's good to see that A2A Sim are more than happy to to accommodate the career apps. They're working on a fix to sort the engine detection. You can see now I've got it a lot smoother compared to what it was when I was flying this over in the States. Was it last week? Not the big jumpy pitch up and pitch down motions now. I've got it much smoother.
Landing time logged. Engine off time logged. The flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
Yeah, pretty good on the centre line again. We did coast off, but 115 feet per minute. Got it under the G. Happy with that? So there we go, flight finished. Right, we'll go and park up, shut down, and
and then we'll have a little look in OnAir again. So I think we've got some skill points that we can apply. See what we can spend them on. That's probably the most prudent. Okay, so we're just going onto this apron here. This is for the small general aviation. Okay, we'll keep it here. So we'll get the parking brakes on. We'll cut it out. Avionics can go off. Okay, there we go. Right, let's have a little look at OnAir then, shall we? So bring it up on the screen. We got our flight report, just like we did when we done the check rides. It literally gives you everything from how your landing was, your statistics during the flight, so how long your block time was, and then as we get a breakdown of what we got in terms of comfort bonuses for XP, safety bonus, which I didn't get because the beacon was off at engine shutdown. Oops. But yeah, let's just click OK to that. We're now back up to just over 10k. You'll see we've got another level mission. Should we click on this? It'll show us what it's going to ask of us next, and this is a 2-leg mission, so we're going to be going from Liverpool to, I think which one, Echo Golf, Doncaster. Drop something off there, so if I just split this, we'll see we've got a passenger trip to Doncaster with 1 passenger, and then from Doncaster we're taking 2 passengers. This is nice because I've got new scenery for it. But yeah, East Midlands, EGNX. So that'd be a nice one to do next anyway. Right, let's go back to the skill tree. I want to show you this. So it says we've got 3 unassigned skill points. So if we click on this to say we want to assign some, we can do FBOs, we can get a passenger license, hiring agreements, and also bank loans. Now I definitely want to be able to open up bank loans at some point, so we're going to stick that on. And also passenger license. Now if you can end up getting some medical jobs, then you're going to get the better paying passenger ones, but of course we want the passenger license to give us more jobs. And although we're getting passengers at the moment with the well, like the leveling up missions, if we were just searching for normal missions and charters, we're probably going to see a lot of that as just cargo. So we'll definitely want them. I don't know what I'm going to spend the next point on, so I'll take those 2. I've not really got any interest in doing the FBO agreement yet. But then again, though, I want to hire employees, though, don't I? So yeah, no, there we go. I don't normally do anything with this because I don't use employees usually. But no, yeah, we'll spend the point. Right, so that is saved. So if we were going to look at charter jobs, we select our aircraft and we query it from, say, let's say 60 miles up to 200. You should see now that this will give us some passengers as well. Jobs aren't exactly going to be paying great. Again, even though we've moved down to Stratus, we should be on the challenging difficulty. So, yeah, we're not going to be earning mega money on these. 2,500. We're going there enough 75 miles. That's actually probably, not only is it the best paying job, fragile cargo, it's also probably one of the shortest ones. So that's actually quite a really good job. And what are we paying an hour again? I think it was like 620 per hour. So knock your 620 off that, whatever your fuel cost is, your landing fees. So we'll probably make about 1,500 on that. So it's not a fast burner. This it's something which can last an awful long time. But I will be looking to get into some of the newer stuff, which I have been doing on the. You know what? I can come out with this as well and show you exactly what I'm on about. But at the moment, the Industries is the latest addition to OnAir, and it's absolutely brilliant. You need to go and scout out a site to build like a hunting camp, so you can put a factory down to produce things. The whole trading market to it. In fact, that's what I'll do anyway. I'll just go to options. I'll go back to lobby. Now I know my factory at the moment is in need of food supplies, but this is what I'm struggling with in Thunder, just being sort of a lone wolf. Seems like all of my time needs to be focused on Industries to keep it running. I can't seem to fly too far away from the area, otherwise I need to fly back. So I can't really explore as much. But yeah, different scenario on this one. If we go to industries and we have a look at factories. And on the list that appears on the left hand side, these are all factories that people have put down. So here's my one. It's an animal goods producing factory. Yeah, you can see that me employees at the moment have run out of food. So I need to go and get a big stack of food, stick it in the container, and then they'll keep producing. But these are the things that you can use now. Containers, large containers for like your stores. If you have got a hunting factory set up, sorry, a hunting camp, which is what we've got, you can then, with those products, either just sell them as they are, or you can build a tannery and also a smokehouse. They have also added some other stuff on this. So if you do, I don't know if whether they've brought it out yet, but we've got stuff for a fish oil extractor and also a where is it? Fish smoker as well. So I'll have to have a little play around with this as well. I'm not too sure if we can actually do the fish stuff yet. We've got to set up like a fishing sort of spot. But yeah, the list of products which is on here at the moment is just, it's just getting better and better. There's a trading hall that you can see all the products that are available, and these are ultimately, I believe, what you're going to be able to make. So for instance, you know, you're going to be able to do like a steel works where you can, you know, you can mine for the metals, stick them in a refinery, you know, produce things like copper plates. You can turn your metals with other stuff into electronic components. Oh, there's the fishing gear there. Needed to keep a fishing camp running, so I'm just wondering if the hunting camp, because the fishing gear is already in there, I'm just wondering if you can actually use a hunting camp to fish. Let me just go back on that previous page. Oh, that only allows one, doesn't it? So maybe, like if I was to stick in another hunting camp, so, and again, you need to go and source the products for this as well, like builders, you need the lumber, you need the steel bars. That takes time to then be constructed. It's not just something which happens straight away, so that'll take a couple of days, that. But I was just wondering then, if I have a container, like say a small container here. If I was to set that as like, say, hunting, if I was to fill that, nope. It's not let me select this, it's output setting. Nope. Yeah, so I'm just wondering if I was to set that as the fishing gear, if it would then turn a hunting camp into basically a hunting camp just for fishing. That's what I'm going to go off. But yeah, all this is brilliant. Just having all this to mess around with, and you've got, as I say, make sure you've got your workers are in good health. Make sure they've got food. This keeps producing. It's a good little branch away from flying. And even if you're doing this when you're not on your PC, but not when you're not on the sim, it's just a good little gameplay loop. But unfortunately, it does take up, what I've found anyway, it's taken up all my time recently with OnAir. Hence why I decided to do the jump to Stratus, just to utilize AI, or let AI give me a little bit of a relief when I want to go somewhere further afield. But I think that's going to be it anyway. As I say, please do check out the link below for OnAir. They do give you, I believe it's a 7-day trial if you want to try it out. In terms of cost, they're just short of €10 a month for the subscription after that. Or you can buy a 12-month subscription for €72, I believe it is. So it works out about just under 62 quid for the year. So you're getting the better value, of course, the longer duration you do. But there's a 3-month package, there's a 6-month package. I can't remember, there might be a 9-month one as well, but obviously the longer you commit to it, the cheaper it works out. I know some people will turn their nose up when something is subscription based, but you know, it puts, I wouldn't call it pressure, but it sort of stops the developers going a bit stale. Of course, if they want to keep subscriptions coming in, got to come up with ways to improve the product and maybe expand upon it, and that's exactly what, as I say, they've been doing with not just the industries that we've just had a quick or a very brief look at, but also doing things like doing overhauls to like the routes and stuff. There's the mining facilities coming in, so keeps them active, which is what we want. You know, if something needs something adding to it, certainly gives them incentive to do that, and also gives them the ability to do that. So please do check it out if you're interested, and I will I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you very much for those of you who are in here, and if you've liked the video, give it a like, and if you've not done already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.